One might say my parents were very judgmental and very critical, and they always found something fault in my grades, in my performance, and they would judge me for that, and that's why I became a perfectionist. And somebody else might say, my parents were really nice and caring and open minded. I don't know why I became such a perfectionist. Well, I have the answer for this question. It's a tricky question, I know. Hi, I'm Vasi Sarantopoulou, psychologist, perfectionist expert, and also recovering perfectionist, right? So I know things inside out. We're going to discuss another topic related to perfectionism, which is today perfectionistic parents. But also, if you want more content on perfectionism, mental health, and relationships, don't forget to check my other videos on the YouTube channel AntiLoneliness and subscribe so that you don't miss any content that I upload there every week. So, why we become perfectionists, right? What is it that we learn from our parents? So, let me tell you about different types or different features of perfectionistic parents, and then you will see how you're learning this. So, first and foremost, you're learning perfectionism via emotionally overwhelming experiences. Like, for example, if you don't perform well, then you get humiliated, or you go home and your parents would say something like, well, I'm disappointed at you, right? You know that I was expecting more from you. That is an emotional experience which is so intense that it's being instilled in us. The message of it is that you are not enough. And then from this message, we start trying more and more and more. We accumulate all our energy so that one day we will be enough. One day we will be approved and accepted by our parents. So, one category of parents can be the ones that they are highly judgmental, the ones that they will always focus on what is not good enough, on what is wrong. And by saying they will focus on the what is wrong, I also mean that they will dismiss what is going well. So they will be very stingy with nice words, words of affirmation, words such as, I'm proud of you, you've done your best, I see your effort. They would not be so, generous with that. So, what we learn is that whatever we do is not enough. Keep trying. There will always be something wrong that we can do better. There will always be someone that will notice what is not going well. So, that's what we learn, aka perfectionism. Another type of parent can be the one that they are perfectionists themselves. So you see that they focus a lot on their own achievements, on their career, on how other people see. They value respect of other people. They value success. And that's a constant message that you learn while you are growing up in this family. How success is important, how other people's opinion is important, what other people think of us. You will hear these messages all the time. And it will not be maybe directly addressed at you, but they are thinking about this themselves. They work a lot. They can be workaholic, or they care a lot about how the house looks or how their appearance looks to other people. Indirectly, again, we are learning that we need to be perfect for other people. And if you're following my course on perfectionism, you know already that this is a recipe for the socially prescribed perfectionism, the perfectionist who thinks that other people have expectations from them, even though they are not openly or directly or explicitly worded. So that's the connection between the socially prescribed perfectionist and what we learn from our family. Let me take you now to the third category, the one that actually initiated this question that, well, my parents were not critical. Why did I become so self judgmental then? So let me take you there. Sometimes we appreciate, we value, we admire our parents so much that we tend to idolize them, but also we tend to compare ourselves with them, especially if you have a parent who has sacrificed a lot, but then they are not whining about it, but they have other people's respect. They keep their integrity. They keep their head up high. When you admire them for all the things that they have gone through their lives, and still they're strong, and still they manage to support the family, the community, or the extended family, when they have done so much for other people that you can see others admiring them all the time and praising them all the time. So you put your parent on a pedestal. Consequently, that means that this comparison means that I am less important than my parent. Or my parent is so up high that I'm not sure whether I can reach them. I'm not sure whether what I do can one day be equivalent of what they have done in their life. So this constant comparison with something that we consider ideal image, is the constant comparison, internal comparison, that feeds and fuels perfectionism. It's the constant reminder, a subtle and very, subconscious reminder that you are not enough because you are not like them. Look what they have done. Will you ever be reaching that level of achievement, respect, admiration, success, etc.? You name it. That's a constant reminder that we will never be like them and we need to try more. We are not enough. And when I treat clients in my therapy sessions that they have experienced that, it's so difficult for them to connect the dots. Like, I cannot believe it. They say that all these years I've been putting myself down without knowing it, because unconsciously I'm comparing myself to my mother or to my father. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe that it was not such an obvious judgment that fed that, but more like my self-judgment that started early on because I idolized my parent. Yes, it happens, indeed. And especially, as I said, if you have parents that in your eyes, they seem infallible, they seem perfect. And either because they have done incredible things or because they are also perfectionists and they have been keeping the vulnerable side of themselves, the imperfect side of themselves, away from you. They only wanted to show that they are perfect, that they're doing well. So, as I said, the parent who is judgmental, the parent who is a perfectionist themselves, or a parent who is perfect in our own eyes, the child's eyes, and it creates this comparison, creates these expectations. And last but not least, of course, if you have been growing up together with a narcissistic parent that always focuses on making this comparison really clear, on focusing on your own weaknesses and imperfections, and at the same time praising themselves as being perfect, and always humiliating you or putting you aside or putting you down and comparing you with maybe a sibling, all this toxic dynamic, of course, that's obvious why it feeds this perfectionistic mindset that you think that you're not enough, and makes you again run in this hamster wheel when you always want to do something more, better, in order to reach this unrealistic standard. So I hope I gave you some idea. Let me know in the comments. Do you resonate with some of these profiles? It doesn't need to be only one. Sometimes there's an overlap, and then parents can have one or more of these features that I just mentioned. Do you resonate with some of these? Do you see now the connection between the parents that you grew up and this perfectionistic dynamic, the birth of this perfectionistic mindset? Let me know in the comments, and let me know if you have any question about that. And of course, I'm here to move the dialogue even further and even deeper, right? Don't forget to check also the AntiLoneliness channel. Don't forget to subscribe and see even more videos on mental health, relationships, and perfectionism. Thank you very much for being here. Take good care of yourself.